I'm Mikey Silva, the host of Cast Member Informer. Who am I really? I'm sure you're wondering, okay, we've heard your name, but who are you? I mean, are you just some creepy geek who goes around tagging people and asking for interviews? Well, in a way, yes, but minus the creepy part. I'm a major Disney fan, which we'll get into later. Who I am is I'm just your average Disney fan. Okay, I became a Disney fan probably at a very early age. I probably can't tell the fans when I became a Disney fan or how or why, because I was pretty much raised and immersed in the Disney World society, and as you know, Disney World is pretty much responsible for the growth of Central Florida. I know that can be contested and debated till the cows come home, but basically, Disney World is, I don't know, like the local culture for Central Floridians. And being raised and growing up near Disney World, that was what we did every year. Disney, I grew up around Disney. I grew up around Disney movies, Disney characters, you know. Going to visit Mickey Mouse was like, you know, a yearly, like going to see, you know, my aunts or uncles on a holiday. So, I mean, why not a Disney fan? I'm sure other kids have grown up around Disney World and not had that effect on them, but I always thought that Disney was the, of course, you know, when you're a kid, you're a little naive. It's about some things, but it was probably the movies to start with, because they were good, clean, family fun movies, and you fall in love with the characters, you know. So, but once I got older, it wasn't so much Disney, just the fun and the magic of it anymore. It got into the aspect of, why do I like Disney now? It evolved from first liking it just because it was there and it was fun, then my Disney fanaticism. Today's secret word is fanaticism. My Disney fandom probably started to grow up when I learned how animation worked. And that was about when I learned to want to become an animator. I learned that that's what I want to do. It's actually what I'm in college for now, is computer animation. So maybe I won't be working for Pixar or for Disney. I kind of want to do films of my own, but Disney has definitely played a big part in inspiring me to become who I am today. Other than me being a hardcore Disney fan, one of the biggest reasons I started CMI, one of the biggest inspirations, was Ricky Briganti's show, Inside the Magic. It's another podcast, and I have only heard a few different podcasts, so I don't know if his is the best, but it's a pretty good one, and I heard his first before I heard any other podcasts, and I mean any other podcasts, not other Disney podcasts. And I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool. This guy's not an employee of Disney, yet he's promoting their stuff, and he's a fan, and he's letting the other fans know about stuff. I'm like, this is cool, this is for me. Because I'm a major Disney nerd, and I'm a major radio and TV kind of nerd, so I thought, well, this would be a great, fun thing to do. And not just for me, but to let other people know what's going on. Maybe people who don't live in Central Florida, people all around the U.S., all around the world, who want to know what's happening at Disney World. And so, for inspiration, I kind of owe Ricky, thanks Ricky for being my inspiration in a very not even close to knowing me sort of way. Where did I come up with the name? Cast Member Informer. Well, I suppose when I decided to do my own podcast, started out, I was just on the computer looking for site hosts to use, to subscribe to. And I guess in the search for finding a name, I just was typing out different ideas, and I somehow thought, well, Cast Member would be a good thing to put in there, and Cast Member Informer just seemed to strike a chord with me. And that kind of is where the idea for what the show is about came from. The show is about cast members and how they are responsible for making Disney World and Disneyland and all the Disney experiences come to life. because without the cast members, you'd have no Disney experience. There'd be no Disney magic. The cast members essentially are the magic generators, if you will. You know, they're there to create the Disney magic. Without them, the illusion, that warm fuzzy feeling, the illusion of where you are and what's happening around you just falls apart, which happens a lot at other theme parks. People don't keep with the theme, people don't keep with the show, people do things that would be offensive, or people just don't care, but Disney always has that great family environment, not just in a way that is safe for your family, but in a way that's open like a family. When you go to Disney World or go to somewhere that has a Disney-like experience, it's like going to a place where you feel safe to not just be with your family, but you're joining other families and having fun, and joining Disney World as part of Disney's family. That and the fact that part of the show is about the cast members itself, the interviews and hearing from their side of the fence, not just talking to the guests, but talking to the cast members and hearing about what their stories are. Let's see, Joey and Pedro. Oh gosh, well, they're fun to work with, that's for sure. Partially because they're me. For those of you who don't know that, I'm Mikey Silva, and this may spoil the magic for a lot of people who were guessing, like, is that him? I can't tell. Is that Mikey? It is. That's me. Anytime you hear a voice that doesn't sound like a real cast member, that's me. That is me. Or unless I give a name or an alias, that's usually me doing some sort of crazy, stupid character voice on there. Joey the Tiki Bird, Pedro the Chihuahua, Dr. Bob, and the many crazy and weird guests we've had on the show, including was it Abraham Lincoln and the guy at the top of the totem pole on Jungle Cruise. The guy at the top of the totem pole on Jungle Cruise, the British guy, the crazy British guy. Hello, you know, and the whole fake accents and stuff like that. Either accents that I'm mimicking from other people doing it on other shows or something like that people would get as a joke, or my own accents, or just silly, stupid craziness. Hi, and welcome to CMI. I'm your host, Mikey Silva. I'm your co-host, Joey the Tiki Bird.
And I'm your announcer dog, Pedro the Chihuahua. Welcome to CMI.
Joey, but where did I get the idea for Joey and Pedro? It just kind of came out of nowhere. If you've heard the first episode and you know how bad it is without Joey and Pedro, I mean, the show is, you know, not that great with them anyway. But without them, it's nothing. It's just me doing a boring news program. Joey and Pedro add the necessary spice. As corny as they are, and as bad as my acting is, they're what makes it fun. And I've gotten a lot of fan mail for Joey and Pedro on the internet. Dozens of different fans have written in saying how they like Pedro and Joey. I actually got some hate mail about Joey. That's what started the whole thing about him getting his vocals fixed, and that whole, you know, mini saga of his operation. That was a funny thing. And after we fine-tuned Joey's voice, things got a little better on the show. And he started getting fan mail, and then Pedro came in, and we started going crazy with the characters. And hopefully, Season 2 will have a lot more fun characters to deal with.